It is a beautiful yet freezing evening here just outside of the city of brotherly love as we welcome you to the Havertown Skatium for the final home game of the 2025-2026 season here for the St. Joseph's University Hawks. Here this evening, a pleasant good evening to everybody tuning in to tonight's coverage of Senior Night for St. Joe's Hockey live here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting and up in the press box. Here at the Skatium, my name is Trey Wright, as the Hawks will enter game number 25 of the season, taking on the Tigers of the Princeton University here this evening. And we've got plenty of storylines to talk about tonight with St. Joe's, the number 19 ranked team in the Southeast Conference for the ACHA M2. They're 21-3 coming into game number 25 of the season tonight. And of course, it is senior night. 10 seniors will be honored here in just a couple of moments with about 3:37 to go until we get things going here. We'll take a look at the starting lineups for tonight, beginning with St. Joe's, coached by Dean Keeney. It's going to be all seniors getting the start here, with Chris Hunter, Shane Wilson starting on defense, with Trevor Stimmel, Kyle Gross, and Danny Flagg. The starting forwards for the Hawks, and Bryce Sullivan, one of three senior goaltenders dressed here tonight that will be playing. That's your starting six for St. Joe's. And then for Princeton University, they're going to be going with the one of Zach Yee. Zach Yee will be starting for Princeton with Alan Feng, Nikita Sheviakov, and Josh Wong, number 27 for Josh Wong, with Blake Dolleman and Ben Vos, the starting six for Princeton University. Princeton in their road white uniforms and the Hawks in their all black road uniforms as well. So we get ready to go here, and of course you look at all 10 seniors being honored tonight for St. Joe's. Kyle Gross, Shane Wilson, Neil Kadehi, unfortunately could not be here tonight, but will still be honored. Bryce Sullivan, Cooper Tyson, Christopher Schofield, Chris Hunter, Zane O'Rourke, Danny Flagg, and Trevor Stimmel. The 10 St. Joe's players will be honored here during senior night in just a couple of moments. And again, you look at the last couple of games here for St. Joe's. It was their middle game in a 3-3 this weekend as they beat Newman yesterday evening at Iceworks in Aston, Pennsylvania. Just a little bit of a drive down Interstate 95 over down in Aston at Iceworks. They beat them 4-2 yesterday evening. And they'll play the Rider University Bronx tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at Flemington Ice Arena. Coverage for that game will also be here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. We'll go over all the present and future games for both these teams, and including all the games we've got on tap here for BSB this weekend. It's a very busy weekend here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. But nonetheless, we'll send things downstairs here in just a couple of moments for pregame ceremonies for senior night. The starting lineups to get underway here at the Skatium in Haverford, Pennsylvania, between the Princeton Tigers and your St. Joe's Hawks here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting on senior night. Don't go anywhere, folks.
trying to put it. Are they coming out? Oh, okay. That don't really matter. Are we recording that?
Yeah.
That was taller than me, bro.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Havertown Skatium for tonight's senior night ceremony for the graduating class of 2026. Tonight, we honor 10 seniors on the program. The first senior we honor for the Hawks, number 4, Kyle Gross. Kyle is from Westchester, Pennsylvania, and is joined by his parents, Mike and Nicole. During his time with the Hawks, Kyle has played in 88 games, recording 37 goals and 46 assists for 83 career points. His favorite memory during his time with St. Joe's was scoring a hat-trick during last year's Cancer Awareness Camp. After graduating, Kyle looks to continue his studies, going to PT school at Temple. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for number 4, Kyle Gross. The next senior we honor is number 8, team captain Shane Wilson. Shane is from Westchester, Pennsylvania, and is joined by his parents, Jim and Devin. During his time with the Hawks, Shane has played in 94 games, recording 13 goals and 44 assists for 57 career points. His favorite memory during his time with St. Joe's was hotel hot tubs with the boys on road trips. After graduating, Shane looks to work at a financial firm. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for your captain, number 8, Shane Wilson. The next senior we honor is number 28, Trevor Stimmel. Trevor is from Hockinson, Delaware, and is joined by his parents, Mark and Kim. During his time with the Hawks, Trevor has played in 75 games, recording 11 goals and 19 assists for 30 career points. His favorite memory during his time with St. Joe's was scoring a goal in his first collegiate game. After graduating, Trevor looks to work with his father's company. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for number 28, Trevor Stimmel. The next senior we honor is number 30, Bryce Sullivan. Bryce is from Haddonfield, New Jersey, and is joined by his parents, Paul and Eileen. During his time with the Hawks, Bryce has started in 26 games, recording 14 wins and a career save percentage of 90. His favorite memory during his time with St. Joe's was beating Bryant in a shootout last year. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for number 30, Bryce Sullivan. The next senior we honor is number 31, Cooper Tyson. Cooper is from Dublin, Ohio, and is joined by his uncle Aaron and his grandmother Judy. During his time with the Hawks, Cooper has started in 38 games, recording 19 wins and a career save percentage of 90. His favorite memory during his time with St. Joe's was defeating the Rider Bronx in a shootout earlier this season. After graduating, Cooper looks to continue his studies, going to law school back home in Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for number 31, Cooper Tyson. The next senior we honor is number 33, Christopher Schofield. Christopher is from Darien, Connecticut, and is joined by his parents, Barry and Lisa. During his time with the Hawks, Christopher has started in 20 games, recording 15 wins, and again, another career save percentage of 90. His favorite memory during his time with St. Joe's was breaking the overtime curse against UPenn last season. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for number 33, Christopher Schofield. The next senior we honor His favorite memory during his time with St. Joe's was playing in the ACCHL Fall Tournament in Washington, D.C. during his freshman year. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for number 46, Chris Hunter. The next senior we honor is number 72, Zane O'Rourke. Zane is from Burlington, New Jersey, and is joined by his parents, Scott and Sharon. During his time with the Hawks, Zane has played in 73 games, recording 4 goals and 8 assists for 12 career points. His favorite memory during his time with St. Joe's was being with the boys on the road for the past 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for number 72, Zane O'Rourke. The next senior we honor is number 91, Daniel Flatt. Daniel is from Burlington, New Jersey, and is joined by his parents, Danny and Darlene. During his time with the Hawks, Daniel has played in 79 games, recording 16 goals and 23 assists for 39 career points. His favorite memory during his time with St. Joe's was playing in St. Joe's annual cancer awareness game his freshman year. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for number 91, Danny Flatt. The final senior we honor tonight is number 16, Neil Kanehi. Neil is from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and is joined by his parents, Rich and Roxanne. During his time with the Hawks, Neil has played in 86 games, recording 59 goals and 48 assists for 107 career points. His favorite memory during his time with St. Joe's was late-night bus rides coming home from successful road trips. After graduating, Neil looks to work in insurance brokerage. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for number 16, Neil Kanehi. Ladies and gentlemen, for one final time, give it up for the graduating class of 2026 for your St. Joseph's University Hawks. Hockey fans, good evening, and welcome to the Havertown Skatium in Havertown, Pennsylvania for Atlantic Coast Conference Hockey League matchup between the visiting Princeton University Tigers and your St. Joseph's University Hawks. Here are tonight's starting lineups, beginning with Princeton. In goal, number 25, Nicholas Bouget. At left defense, number 19, Alan Fenn. At right defense, number 13, Nikita Shevikov. At left wing, number 27, Josh Wall. At center, number 6, Blake Dahlman. And at right wing, number 10, Ben Bowes. It's now time to meet the starting 6 for your St. Joseph's University Hawks. At left wing, a senior from Burlington, New Jersey, number 91, Danny Flatt. At center, a senior from Westchester, Pennsylvania, number 4, Kyle Groves. At right wing, a senior from Hockinson, Delaware, number 28, Trevor Stimmel. At defense, a senior from Merchantville, New Jersey, number 46, Chris Hunter. Also at defense, a senior from Westchester, Pennsylvania, your captain, number 8, Shane Wilson. And at goal for the Hawks, a senior from Haddonfield, New Jersey, number 3, Bryce Sullivan. Your Hawks are coached by Dean Keeney. Ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask you please rise or able to and direct your attention to the American flag located at the arena entrance. Please remain standing as we honor America and those who defend this beautiful nation with a playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
We're ready to rock and roll here at the stadium. It's game time between the St. Joe's Hawks and the Princeton University Tigers here just outside of the city of brotherly love. It's actually going to be Zach Yee who will be getting the start for Princeton in net for the Tigers. But looking at the St. Joseph's Hawks once again, their starting lineup, all seniors with Danny Flagg, Kyle Gross, Trevor Stimmel as the starting forwards, with Chris Hunter, Shane Wilson, and Bryce Sullivan making up the back end of the starting six. It's game time here in the Keystone State. As we get ready to get senior night underway, and right off of the draw, it's won here by the Tigers. Trying to dump it back in the other way was Princeton, but comes back the other direction, and now we might have a 2-on-0 already. Here's Gross sending it back across to Stimmel, and he couldn't pull the trigger. Henry Yee nearly being tested for the first time tonight, and quick 2-on-0 for St. Joe's. Puck is loose right under Yee. Backhander just goes wide. And a couple of really good chances right in front here for St. Joe's already, and this is a Princeton team, only 2 wins on the season in 8 different games played. 6 games played, I should say. 9, excuse me. We finally got there. They're 2-7 on the season, with wins over TCNJ and Duke later this season, or earlier this season. But St. Joe's, last time these two teams met on September 28th, beat the Tigers 11-3 as a beautiful move on the other way, and right in front they score. So the Tigers looking to spoil the senior day party early, and it's quickly a 1-0 lead. And tucking it home looks to be James Lee. So James Lee, who leads the Tigers in scoring with his 5th goal of the season, quickly makes it a 1-0 lead, less than a minute in, and Princeton is on the board. Well, after the 2-on-0 here for St. Joe's, you would think that they're trying to get a quick chance, and right in front, right immediately they respond. It's Mikey Brazil who quickly evens up the game, and 9 seconds later, we're tied at 1. Well, I think that's going to show how much goal scoring we're going to get in this one. It's like we were saying, St. Joe's beat Princeton 11-3. But for Mikey Brazil, who just tapped it off of Henry Yee's skate, both teams, one shot, one goal. Clap bomb from Brazil, who's trying to get two quickly here in this first period. Comes back to Lulek at the point, sends one through traffic, it's redirected home. Zane O'Rourke makes it 2-1, and he is the first senior to find the back of the 4x6, and it's 2-1 St. Joe's. So we've already had 3 goals scored in this game. Now it's only 18:28 to go here in period number 1. I think this is going to be an indicator on just how crazy this game is going to be here. Going back to Brazil, that was his 9th goal of the season for the Kings Park, New York sophomore. And then for O'Rourke, who becomes the first senior to score here tonight, that's his first on the season. And it's quickly 2-1 St. Joe's, so they'll go up to their first lead of the afternoon. Kate Bohr trying to get it out of Princeton's end, and it comes back over to the Hawks from their own side. James Carpenter, a late addition after Neil Cadet. He unfortunately couldn't be here as he was sick. He quickly snipes his short side on Yee, and it's 3-1. So 3 shots, 3 goals. As neither goaltender has made a save in this game just yet. So James Carpenter, like we were saying, was a late addition into this lineup. After being slotted after Neil Cadet, he came down with illness. This one up into the netting, and the first whistle that's not a goal. It's 3-1 St. Joe's, 17:30 to go in the first period. I can't really say that I have seen any of this yet before, ladies and gentlemen, where it's 4 goals on 4 shots. So neither goaltender has been tested yet. Like what was we say that Zach Yee will finally get tested. So finally a save for either goaltender as St. Joe's puts their 4th shot on net. And it's 3-1 St. Joe's. And again, this is a Princeton team that's still just trying to find their footing as this one goes by Bryce Sullivan, one of 3 senior goaltenders that will play here this evening against this Princeton program. So you have the 10 of Ben Vos. Has a loose puck right at the doorstep there. Yee trying to find it as St. Joe's looking to go up by 3 here. It's still caught in the skates of, couldn't tell who that was. I believe that was the 3 of Nikita Shevikov. Shevikov has got it back over to him, trying to find a fellow Princeton teammate as Vos will get it back, and now it's a 2-1. 1 for Princeton trying to get back in the contest. It's a short side, I believe. Bryce Sullivan was able to make the stop. And he indeed was. So Princeton will get their 2nd shot recorded on net. Only 4 minutes gone, and I can't believe we have to say this, but there's a little bit of a scoring drought between these two teams as Flag is back on. This top senior line of Flag, Gross, and Stimmel trying to get things going. Stimmel down to the far side. He gets run over by Vos. Vos, the 6'5" young man from Natick, Massachusetts. Played 2 games this season so far for this Princeton program. Here's Hunter trying to set things up on the other way. Back on the other side, they score! So crashing in was Danny Flag. It's 4-1, and St. Joe's has now have 2 seniors who have been able to find the back of the 4x6, and they go up by 3. So right as we said that there was a scoring drought, Danny Flag will join the scoring brigade. Mikey Brazil has got it. 1 goal already. Puts one over the crossbar away from Geek. Keeping it back over at the point was Hunter. Flag now joins Daniel O'Rourke, or Zane O'Rourke, excuse me. As 2 seniors to score here as O'Rourke tried to put one through the low slot. He was denied. So there's a 19 of Jacob Lulek was trying to find it back over. And again, you look at all the scratches here for the St. Joe's team. We got a lot of their guys that are resting here, that have rested over the last couple of games. You know, Sam Resto, Robert Romarino, Peter Borman, Trey Fingerhut, and all the usual suspects, Dylan Kuba, all the usual suspects, which you typically see out there being rested here tonight, with Dean Keeney electing to let the other half of his pretty big roster trying to get things going. Is Brazil looking for the backhander, puts it over the crossbar. Carpenter at the blue line, waiting for options, putting one through traffic with St. Joe's. They score again. And it's Jack Moore who's going to get his first career goal as a Hawk, I believe. And it's 5-1 St. Joe's. So the sophomore will get his first goal of the season. I don't believe that's the first career goal for Jack Moore. 5 different goal scorers in this contest, and it's 5-1 St. Joe's. And 5 unanswered goals here for the Hawks. A big hit being laid out in the corner as James Carpenter laying out a Tiger over at the far side. $13:40 to go in period number 1. 5-0 St. Joe's leads over Princeton. Carpenter sends one over to the far side, sending that one back in through traffic there. Pat Doherty has got it over at the near side corner, trying to get it back over to himself as Doherty. Now he transitions to the top of the zone. O'Rourke at the far side, trying to play it back over. Carpenter with a rip shot, and it goes over the bar and over the glass and out of play. You look at the St. Joseph's University team, 21-3 on the season, the 19th ranked team in the ACC, or rather just the in the southeastern region. Could have a shot of making the regional tournament given all the wins that they've had, as Preston Wilson, I should say, was trying to get one back over. Preston Wilson, the sophomore, younger brother of Shane Wilson. As it's wheeled back the other direction as Vos tries to send one. Goes the length of the ice, but icing will be waved off. James Wong, 27, trying to kick it back over to himself. It'll be sent back the other direction, and here come the Hawks in a little bit of a breakaway on the other side. Taking down the player there was Vos. That was Michael Valenta, who's trying to get his 3rd goal of the season. Nearly had a breakaway chance. Back on the other way it comes. This is James Lee, the lone goal scorer in this game for Princeton. Sends one off of the crossbar. It's still loose on the goal line. Still it's loose, trying to jam it home. Where's Princeton? And finally will be covered up, and we're going to get some pushing and shoving. Apologize for some technical difficulties on our part. The bouncing puck goes wide of the cage. Trying to get it back out the other direction there was Kieran Danik. Danik was trying to send it over. Hawks are just a little bit offside as Kyle Gross touched it up for a brief moment. Gross loses the draw, and it comes back over to Shevikov, wearing 3 here for Princeton. Princeton in their road white uniforms. St. Joe's wearing their road black uniforms that they'll be wearing here. As Maratea not able to take it away there from a Tiger. Trying to come back with it the other direction. The 19 of Alan Fang, and he gets tripped up. As Trevor Stimmel and barreling into Fang, and he's going to go to the box for a trip. So a power play here at the midway point in period number 1. First one is going to go here to Princeton. We'll see what they'll be able to do and see how they're able to operate. He's taking the draw. On the opposite side will be Nick Bonjay. Bonjay will take the draw opposite of a St. Joe's skater. That was O'Rourke, who had it and lost it. This comes back over to Riley McCabe, slotting back in the lineup after being in and out of the lineup for a lot this year. This will go down the length of the ice. We're chasing after this one will be Shevikov. Nikita Shevikov, native of Summit, New Jersey. The freshman played for the Rockets Hockey Club 15U AAA program last time. Saved by the pillows of Sullivan, and he'll make the grab. Sullivan, so far, 2 for 3. Facing his 3rd shot of the night, and this will be an offensive zone draw here for the Tigers. And they'll get their PP2 back on. Trying to play it there was Lee. Lee had it, lost it. O'Rourke has now got it. O'Rourke, 1 goal already, looking for a shorty here are the Hawks. This comes back the other way, and the Tigers have got it. A little too far out there for Wong, but Wong has got it. He'll streak down the far end, puts on the brakes. Trying to play it back over to a friendly Tiger. They're pinning this back the other way. Here is Princeton. They try to get back into the contest. Have surrendered 5 goals in a row. This comes back over to Kieran Danik. Taking the slap shot there for a brief moment was Lee, but he couldn't handle it. This goes back into the opposite corner. Lee looking for a quick chance on Sullivan. The Tiger goes down in a heap, and now a race for it on the other way. This is McCabe who will find it over in the near side corner. McCabe shorthanded with 37 seconds to go here in the penalty kill. And a quick snipe right from the Ovechkin office, and a shorthanded tally for the Hawks. We'll put a touchdown on the scoreboard at 6-1. That time it was Pat Doherty, and the junior will get his 4th goal of the season. Six goals on 7 shots. Make with that what you will, folks. This one goes past Yee. McCabe has got it, trying to play it back over to Doherty. Doherty partially tied up. He'll come back the other direction in it with his own end. Tapping this one past the red line there with the Hawks. It was a short-handed tally from Pat Doherty with about as beautiful as a snipe as you could ask for from the far circle. We're a little too far out for Doherty. Final seconds will tick off, and Stimmel is out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. A successful short-handed goal. Make it 6-1 in favor of St. Joe's here with 8:52 to go in period number 1. Back on the other way. Here comes Shane Wilson. The captain just sends one off of the glove of Yee. Abram Hershey, quick chance in the low slot, and that's partially denied by Yee once again. Hershey just trying to dig after it. Comes back over to Valenta. Hershey's not able to get it. Doherty was trying to get it back over to Hershey. Hershey turning around. We'll play it back over for Valenta. Valenta thought about playing the lacrosse goal. Thought about doing the Michigan as he crunches Keon Atara into the corner boards. Preston Wilson, a delayed offside. Valenta will tag up, quickly gets it back over to Wilson. Here's Wilson on the flank. Wilson with a chance, looking for his first as a Hawk. Gets it back over to Valenta. Playing over to Wilson, a quick chance in the low slot denied by Yee. That was Hershey, who's still looking for his third goal of the season for the Horsham, Pennsylvania native. A little too far out there for Alan Fang, and I'll turn it over in the offensive zone. Wilson down the near side, trying to flip it back over to Maratea. Maratea and Chevikov both fighting for it over in the corner. This is batted out of the air with a high stick. Alan Fang will touch up on it. We'll get a pause here with 7:32 to go. 6-1 St. Joe's. Gross not able to win the draw opposite of Bunjay. And Bunjay trying to filter it back out to a friendly Tiger skater. This is kept in here by St. Joe's. Gross wasn't able to keep it over to himself. This one bounces off of the stick of Danek. And Danek not able to hold on to this one. 7:10 to go in period number 1 now. Back on the other way, looking to bring Princeton back within 5, and a quick chance denied by Sullivan. This is wheeled out the other direction once again, and here comes Stimmel eastbound and now with a vulcanized rubber. Pitched out by Blake Dahlman. This will find Maratea. Quick chance for Alan Fang, and that's a quick pillow save by Sullivan. He had to have a heads-up play on that one. Kept in by the captain of Maury. Fang trying to steer it around Sullivan to no avail. Fang knocked down, able to get back onto the knives. St. Joe's not able to bat it out, kept in there by Danek. Trying to get it out is McCabe, and it's quickly swatted out by Sullivan into the opposite corner. St. Joe's having a little bit of trouble breaking out of their own end. This one off of the stick of Lee, but it'll come back over, and here come the Hawks in transition. Gross flipping it back over. Stimmel trying to get a goal here on senior night. This goes past Yee. And taking it down will be Vose. He nearly got ran over there by Doyle in 25. That's Owen Doyle playing his second game of the season. This one skips across right in front of Sal Triolo. Triolo trying to keep the 2 of Evan Sia. Sia trying to come back the other direction. Sia with a quick chance, and that's blockered aside. A rebound nearly put back in by Princeton, but to no avail. Sia still with it. Had it, lost it, trying to chip it out, but gets it back over to Vos. Vos with a clap bomb from the blue line. Sullivan thought he had it. Rebound came back over, but not able to get any sort of action on it there. Was Lee over at the near side. Vos has had a couple of those chances from the blue line. Certainly has the height to be the ACHA Division II. Princeton still with it. Under 5 to go in period number 1. Vos with the puck. Nearly got bumped off by O'Rourke. Comes back over to Sia. Sia will dump it in. Rather, that was Vos that will dump it in, and reinforcements will come on, one of them being Kate Boyer, wearing 15. Brazil not able to dance around the Tiger defense. The puck will eventually find it back over to his stick. He'll backhand it over into the half wall. Sia trying to keep it away from Brazil, and he will. And you go back a couple of games ago, it's hard to believe that this is the first home game we have had here ever since the big win against Stockton, and quickly sniping it home to put the extra point on the board is James Carpenter. He's got his second of the night, and it's 7-1. So James Carpenter will get goal number 2 of the evening, and the extra point is good, and he is trying to get a first period hat trick. Instead, he'll play it back out to the point, trying to get it back out there for McCabe. It's bouncing just over the stick of Doherty, and he nearly had it. McCabe was trying to get it back over to Doherty. Doherty will have it. Will like to play it back over to Lulek, and Doherty will now get on his horse here. 7-1, St. Joe's leads. Trying to knife it away from everybody was Danik. Danik and Carpenter fighting for it over in the corner boards. Puck is loose in the low slot. Trying to clear it out was Morey. This will be dumped in past the red line by Dahlman. This will be going into the St. Joe's bench. Will be out of play here with 3:20 to go in the first. Plenty of action around all of our BSB teams here this evening, including tonight's game. You look at all the action for BSB with the Battle of New Jersey right now kicking off between Rutgers and TCNJ. And later on tonight, Ryder will be taking on Rowan. That will not be a game on BSB as the Bronx are down at the Hollydale Ice Arena taking on one of the top teams in the ACC M2. And then, of course, Rutgers D3 will be taking on the Hofstra Pride. That'll be later on tonight. Corolla Pascal on the call for that game. Cody Decker on the call for the game. The Battle of New Jersey between TCNJ and Rutgers. Rutgers beating TCNJ in a blood-fueled game yesterday, 4-1. Here's Fang in on net, and he got taken down in a heap. It's going to be a cross-checking call going against St. Joe's, and once again, Princeton's power play will go back to operation here with 2:36 to go in the first. And that time it was Jack Moore who was the offending Hawk. Will end up in the penalty box here with St. Joe's up 7-1. Like we said, Cody Decker on the call here for the Battle of New Jersey over for our coverage of TCNJ Lions hockey, and of course here for St. Joe's, my name is Trey Wright. With St. Joe's a 7-1 lead over the Princeton Tigers. With 2:31 to go in period number 1. Shots 7-10 in favor of St. Joe's, but they've got the lion's share of goals here. With 7 of those 10 shots on net, Henry Yee 3 for 10. Princeton was able to get on the scoreboard first here with a dart from James Lee. Then 9 seconds later, St. Joe's responded. They've got the last succeeding goals, 6 goals in this contest to make it 7-1. Morey wasn't able to stick it in. St. Joe's with 1 shorthanded goal already this evening and has not surrendered anything on the power play just yet. Morey, the captain, skating westbound and down with the vulcanized rubber. He's got it on the tape, gets it back over to Fang. Fang across, loads the gun for Vose, and he didn't miss by much, and Vose got dumped off into the boards. Couldn't tell who the Hawk that was. I believe that was Kyle Gross. Rather, that was Trevor Stimmel. No surprise there. Trevor Stimmel, one of the 10 seniors here. 9 of them playing this evening. Of course, Bryce Sullivan will be slotted out after this first period for Christopher Schofield, and then Cooper Tyson will play the third period. So all 3 senior goaltenders will get some playing time here this evening. This flutters back the other way where Wong has got it. Wong quickly pickpocketed there by O'Rourke. Rather, that was Valenta. Quick shot, quick goal. It's 8-1. So another short-handed tally. This time it'll be going to Danny Flagg. And Flagg will make it 8-1 in favor of St. Joe's with just under a minute to go here in the first period. As Flagg, I believe that is his second goal of the game. We'll double check all the goal scoring, all the facts and figures after this first intermission. Looking for a redirect chance there as the penalty was expiring was Princeton. And this will be a face-off to the right-hand side, the left-hand side, excuse me, of Bryce Sullivan. Like we were saying for Sullivan this season, senior goaltender, standing at 6'1" and 160, senior from Haddonfield, with a 4-1 record on the season so far and a GAA of 2.2 and a save percentage this year of .930. This goes right into the glove of Henry Yee, and he's able to make a stop with 25 to go. 8-1 St. Joe's. And all 8 of those goals coming in quick succession. Gross to take the draw opposite of Dahlman. Dahlman will win the faceoff, and that's been really the lone bright spot of the afternoon here for Princeton. Kept in by Hunter at the point. He takes a shot through traffic, and that did not miss by much. A lot of heat on that shot. 10 seconds to go in the first period. This comes back over to Danik. Rolls off the take. It'll come back over to Boyer, and she'll dump it in the length of the ice, and that will do it here for the opening 20 minutes. 9 goals scored here in period number 1, 8 of them belonging to St. Joe's, and they're in really good shape here. Over the opening 20 minutes, we'll be back here in just a couple of moments for tonight's coverage of Senior Night here for the St. Joe's Hawks. Later on, we're here this evening at Haverford. And we're back here with 20 down, 40 to go, right into the second intermission, and we're right into the second period, I should say. Quick save on a quick shot there for Cooper Tyson, who will be now playing in this third period. Second period, I should say. 8 seconds gone. So we'll get right back into the action here. Quick shot once again, this time originating from Evan Saya. And Tyson is able to make the draw, the stop once again. And another quick goal here for St. Joe's as they make it 9-1. And I believe that's going to be Danny Flagg who gets the goal once again, his third goal of the game, I believe. So we'll go over the scoring rundown for the first period. Things got started with an unassisted goal from James Lee, but then it was Mikey Brazil getting this goal scoring started. And that was indeed a senior night hat trick there for Danny Flagg, and a quick save made by Tyson. We'll direct it out. Here's Flagg on it once again. 3 goals already this evening. And that one will bounce in and out of the St. Joe's bench and out of play. Face-off will come right in front of the St. Joe's bench. Again, you take a look at the rest of the goaltending stats from that first period. That first goal, this will go back into the Princeton bench this time. You look at the first goal, and that was Mikey Brazil from Sal Triolo. So Triolo getting on the score sheet. Then you had Zane O'Rourke from Mikey Brazil. So Brazil already up to 2 points tonight. Then you had James Carpenter, his first of the night, with assists from the 20 of Pat Doherty and the 25 from Owen Doyle. Then he had Daniel Flagg's first goal. Charlie Maratea, the only assist on that play. Then he had Jack Moore, his first of the season, with assists from James Carpenter and Mikey Brazil. Brazil up to 3 points and a quick shot. Goes over the crossbar. Rebound came back over the net as off its moorings as Tyson emphatically coming across to make the stop with 18:57 to go in the second period. Then he had Pat Doherty getting his first goal of the night with the assist going to Owen Doyle. And James Carpenter got goal number 2, and that's just squeaks through the wickets of Cooper Tyson, and Princeton is able to end this 9-goal run here for St. Joe's. They cut the lead 9-2, and getting a goal that time is going to be Nick Bonget to cut the lead to 7. So both St. Joe's goaltenders giving up a quick goal here. In the opening couple of minutes that they've played, we also expect to see Christopher Schofield play this second period, most likely, this third period most likely, but right now Cooper Tyson trying to keep things at bay. What a play there on the other side for Brazil, but he's just not able to convert on what would have been a beautiful backhander. O'Rourke's pass intercepted there by Morey. This goes the length of the ice, and Lulek, we're not going to have an icing call as Fang was in lockstep with Lulek. This is sent back out, taken here by Morey. Morey trying to keep it away from crashing St. Joe's skaters, and Brazil has got it over at the far side. Brazil, short side onto Yee, and that's quickly gloved down by Yee. He'll make the stop. Here comes Vos the other direction. Vos in a 2-on-1. Off traffic, trying to play it back over to James Lee as it was in and out of the glove of Cooper Tyson. Tyson was able to just get enough of it, and now a 2-on-1. Here's Carpenter, 1 goal away from a hat trick. He scores! So it's the second hat trick of the night for St. Joe's as they reach double digits. It's James Carpenter will hit 3 goals on the evening. It is 10-2 in favor of the Hawks. So Carpenter with his 3rd goal of the night. He will join Danny Flagg as having a hat trick here against the Princeton team that is still just trying to find their footing. Again, a very short bench here for the Tigers. Lee driving around, blocker save, and a quick cover-up on the rebound by Tyson. Puck going into the corner. Vos trying to keep it away from a crashing Shane Wilson. Haven't seen Wilson get on the score sheet just yet. A little bit out of character for him. Doherty has got it right at the near side, trying to launch it all the way up, and it's gloved down. Here we go once again. And a great save out of Henry Yee as he's able to stonewall Carpenter, who's looking for a Baker's hat trick. This bounces on and offside, kept in by Doherty. Doherty looking for the backhand pitch. He scores! So Pat Doherty with his second on the night. I don't believe that was redirected home. And it's now 11-2. As this score is looking to be more and more like a basketball game. It's looking more and more like a football score, I should say. Princeton was able to get a safety. And how do you get seven? I guess 2 safeties and a shot from the red line goes home. And it's 12-2. And Henry Yee was not able to corral that bouncing puck. I believe that was Abram Hershey who just dumped it in past the red line, and now up by 10 are the Hawks. 12 goals on 17 shots. My, oh my, is all I've got to say. And this is a St. Joe's team. They are just a well-oiled machine. And they're absolutely proving it here tonight. Kate Boyer down the near side, trying to backhand it, taken away by Valenta. Valenta trying to outbreak here, and it's a 3-on-2 for St. Joe's. Valenta with Preston Wilson. Valenta's just going to take it himself, and he scores. He goes 5-hole on Yee. And it's a baker's dozen on the score sheet. It's 13-2. And St. Joe's, I think to say in the driver's seat of this contest is an understatement. They've got lucky number 13 on the score sheet. Trying to dance through to try to put 14 on the board there was Preston Wilson, who's still looking for his first goal. Trying to flip it out here are the Tigers. Taking it back was Valenta. Cross slot feed, nearly banked back in there by Wilson, who's looking for his first as a Hawk. Trying to play it back over. Valenta takes it himself. He scores again. (14-2). I believe that might be a hat trick for Michael Valenta. With 15:43 to go in the second period, it is 14-2 in favor of St. Joe's. Princeton wins the face-off. That one banked off of the backhand skate of Flag. Fang has got it, trying to play it back over to Bunjay, one of the 2 goal scorers. He sends one wide of Tyson's office. This comes back over to Stimmel, dumping it all the way down. Refs will say that there's no icing, and it comes back over to Sia. Sia, good moves, and he is upended. And Princeton is going to get a penalty here, a delayed penalty going against St. Joe's. It'll be 3 for 3 in terms of the penalties called in this contest, as Princeton looks to get back within the contest, trailing by a dozen. So Princeton 0 for 2 with 2 shorthanded goals against them. In terms of the power play, trying to play this out was Danik. It's Cocriala in 13. Trying to keep it away. Tied up with Lulek as he'll hit the ice. Playing it back over. Fang, short side, was trying to tap it in. Was Bunjay, who's looking for his second. Morey at the point. Trying to play it back over off of the stick of Sia. Bunjay on it once again. Trying to play it back over to Fang, but it's intercepted. And sending it out was Triolo. Couple of bodies go hard into the boards as St. Joe's has got it. Flag looking for a fourth, and he is upended. This goes a little bit out of reach there of the 10 of Vose. Of Vose, I should say. Vose trying to play after it. Comes back over, flipped out. This one off the skate of Gross. Gross will kick it back over to himself. 53 seconds to go in the penalty against Trevor Stimmel. His second penalty minutes of the evening. Stimmel has been kept off the score sheet so far. This is sent the length of the ice once again by the Hawks. 39 seconds to go. Brazil trying to kick it away there from Morey. This comes back over to Lee, and Lee trying to get it back over to Morey, who will lose it. And Shane Wilson has got it as the one captain will take it away from the other captain, and Wilson will bank it in. Time winding down. Princeton trying to get back in the contest, trailing by 12. Cutting back into the low slot there was a Tiger. Playing it back over is Ian Lamb. Lamb trying to get it back over to Lee. Lee has got it, trying to keep it away from Shane Wilson. Wilson has got it. We're back to 5-on-5. O'Rourke is out of the box. He's trying to scream on after it. Here's O'Rourke trying to play it back over. This pops in and out of the zone here. As Brazil was caught in the stick there by a little bit there by Lamb. Brazil has got it. Here comes Mikey Brazil, and he gets tied up there by Shevikov. He was trying to play it in and out of the slot. This comes back over to Brazil, who's trying to keep it away from Lamb. This comes back the other way. A bouncing puck will find the other 27 of Moore, who will backhand it into the Princeton zone. Carpenter with a good job of keeping it back over to himself. And taking it back in the other direction will be Vose, as Ben Vose had it, lost it. He's pickpocketed by O'Rourke. Doherty in the low slot, but taking himself with a slap shot goal are the Hawks. It is 15-2. And that time it was Riley McCabe who was able to snipe it home. It's 12:08 to go here in period number 2. And hitting the Jamie Lernberger number. Jamie Langenbringer number, I should say. Here's Dahlman with a chance. He scores! So Blake Dahlman with a beautiful shot right in the low slot cuts the deficit to 12. And Princeton has been able to kick a field goal. So the Tigers right back in the thick of it, trailing by a dozen for Blake Dahlman. 4th goal of the season for the freshman from Ashtabula, Wisconsin. Bouncing puck goes into the opposite corner boards. Trying to play it back out here are the Hawks. This comes over to Doherty with 11:29 to go in the second period. Doherty waiting for any reinforcement. Trying to play it back over to himself, but kicking it back the other way is Boyer. Okay, Boyer will send it back over to Kieran Danek. Danek trying to put a shot off. One in and out of the glove once again of Tyson. Carpenter trying to split the defense. And he has got it. 3 goals on the evening so far. Trying to walk around as a Tiger blew a tire. Carpenter back to the top of the point for Stimmel through traffic, and that's partially blocked in front. Lulek at the blue line trying to get it back over to James Carpenter. Trying to get it out here are the Tigers. Carpenter will get it back over to himself. Thought about playing the Michigan for a brief moment. Will just elect to play it back over into the opposite corner. Boyer not able to keep it away there from the 25 of Owen Doyle. Shot in front. I believe he was able to get a piece of that. Lulek will come across. back over. Here's Abram with a shot. Abram Hershey, I should say. And the whistle was blown right before the puck went back in the net. So we'll get a pause here with 10:21 to go in period number 2. 15-3 your score. $10:14 to go in period number 2. Is trying to play it back out here are the Tigers, and a little bit of space over on the far side. Once again is Lee. Rather, that was Shevikov who had it and lost it. And you can officially cue the Bon Jovi in this one, folks. We're halfway home with St. Joe's leading 15-3 over the Princeton University Tigers in a grudge match here in the ACC Elite. Sending one wide was Shevikov, wide of the net, once again, of Tyson. Valenta trying to play it back over. Trying to keep it away from everybody was Keon Atara. And Atara trying to get it back over to Sia. Sia trying to dance it back over to Bunjay with one goal already, and it comes back over. Abram Hershey has got it. Trying to get it out, but it's intercepted once again by Fang. Fang quickly has it taken away from Abram Hershey, and here comes Hershey trying to get it back over to Valenta. This goes wide on the net. He was able to get a piece of it, but it was going wide. Back of the blue line. St. Joe's trying to get lucky number 16 on the scoreboard, as Lulek trying to keep it away there from Bunjay, and Bunjay has got it. Across the blue line he comes. It's Fang to the right-hand side is Bunjay. Getting in a little bit of a dust up there with a hawk on the other way. That was with Lulek. Trying to get back away from everybody there was Preston Wilson. Wilson has got it, and it gets it back over to Charlie Maratea. Maratea at the near side. Surveying. Looking to wrap it around. We'll just take it to the opposite corner board. 8:13 now to go here in period number 2. This will be brought back out where Chris Hunter has got it. He's got it at the blue line. And we'll play it back over to Maratea. Lost in his skates. Fang crashing in, and he nearly ran over Maratea. Fos wasn't able to hold on. This will come back over to Hunter, one of the 9 seniors playing here this evening. Neil Kadehi, the all-time leader in points here for St. Joe's in terms of this roster. Out tonight. He'll likely be back here tomorrow against the Rider Bronx. The Rider will have their senior night with their honor their 2 seniors. That'll be tomorrow at 6 p.m. right here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. But right now, St. Joe's looking to cap off a big win here so far. Again, they're up 15-3 as Maratea, that was Hunter, knocking down, I believe that was Lamb, into the corner boards. Here come the Tigers in transition, and a hard shot. Wow, that was James Lee that went hard into the stanchion as he got his world rocked. Fortunately, he hit the padding right on the corner stanchion, and he is able to get back onto the bench, and that is a great sign to see. James Lee not getting run over. I'm surprised we didn't get a roughing minor out of that. Danik has got it over at the near side corner. Wilson trying to keep it away from her. And that'll be gloved down once again by Cooper Tyson. He'll make the pause here with 6:32 to go in the second period. $6:32 to go in period number 2. Glad to have everybody aboard here for tonight's broadcast of St. Joe's University Hawks ACC Elite Hockey here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. My name is Trey Wright with St. Joe's up 15-3 and make it 16-3. On a quick shot on another great chance there, and the Hawks will go up once again. This time, I believe it was Sal Triolo who was able to pot home the one-timer on the 2-on-1. And now make it Neil Kadehi's number of 16. Goals on the board. Triolo trying to get it back over to Brazil, who's already got a couple of goals on the night himself. And a bouncer right into the gear of Zach Yee for the pause. Quick shot. That goes wide as Moore was trying to send one through traffic. Brazil at the corner. Trying to survey back out to the blue line. Comes in and out, back out to the neutral zone, trying to survey his Boyer. But Brazil has got it, has got a half step over Danik once again. Looking for the centering feed there were the Hawks, and now it's a 3-on-2 here for the Tigers. Sia will send one wide of the cage. Comes back over, flipped out once again by Brazil, was trying to play it up to Carpenter, who's looking for a Baker's hat trick. Devin Morey will put one on target, and this will be kept alive once again by Tyson. 5 minutes to go in period number 2. Carpenter once again on his horse. He's got Lee right behind him. Carpenter was trying to take another swinging shot at Lee, but Lee, one of the 3 goal scorers tonight here, trying to come back in eastbound and down. He's pickpocketed by Brazil, who tried to put it on the tape of Doherty a little too far out for him. Hershey was trying to take it back the other direction. This will come back over to Lee. Lee with a blast right into the gear of Tyson, and he is able to stop that howitzer right in midair. And wow, that had a lot of mustard on that shot. So James Lee, the freshman from Chicago, getting things going once again. As Shevikov has a shot that goes a little bit wide. As he'll come back over to Doherty. Doherty trying to play it back over to himself past Shia. Rather, that was Shevikov. Bouncing puck right in front of Yee. It'll go wide. Comes back over. Doherty trying to put one through traffic once again. Comes back the other way. Maratea. Not able to send this the length of the ice. Lee trying to take it away from Maratea. Lulek is on it once again. Here's Lulek with James Lee all right up in his 6 o'clock there. Quick chance off of the iron. A rare shot that just goes a little bit wide there that St. Joe's has not been able to capitalize on. 16 goals on 24 shots. With 3:30 to go here in this middle period. Lee hadn't lost it. He got knocked off there by Hershey. This will come back over to Fang. We'll try to play it back over to Lee. Lee gets hit once again there. Taking it away will be Fang. Fang trying to spin away from the St. Joe's defense as Hershey and Lee get untangled up. Vos trying to play it back over to Fang. It's a quick chance right in the low slot. They score. So James Lee now on hat trick watch, and he'll cut the deficit into a quarter. And it's now 16-4. So it's now 16-4 with under 3 to go here in period number 2. 20 goals have been scored in this game, 16 of them belonging to St. Joe's. Blowing a tire there was Wong over in the high slot, and it comes back over to Kyle Gross. Gross trying to play it back over to Preston Wilson. And this is slotted back out. Here's Vos with a quick chance, and that's in and out of the glove of Tyson. Tyson with another shot and another save there with 2:11 to go. Dahlman with a clean win right off the draw. Here's Preston Wilson trying to get on his horse. Wilson trying to put one through traffic, and it goes through. They score. So Preston Wilson will get his first goal in a St. Joe's uniform, and he'll net goal number 17 of the night. So how ironic that Preston Wilson will score before his older brother Shane on senior night. It is now 17-4 in favor of St. Joe's, and they've got it back out to a 13-goal lead. .145 to go in period number 2. 9 goals in the first period, now 8 goals in this middle frame for the Hawks, as Gross was trying to bank it back over to Wilson. Shane Wilson has been kept off the score sheet so far tonight. We'll see if he'll join his brother Preston. It's loose in the low slide, and the net will come off of its moorings with 1:22 to go. $17 goals for St. Joe's. I think the most goals that I've ever seen personally in a game was when Ryder put 11 goals onto the Westchester University Golden Rams back in 2022. I don't think I have seen 17 goals in person. The most goals I've ever seen on a score sheet, as we got 1 minute to go in the second period, was in the USPHL Premier Division when the Springfield Picks took down the Thunder Hockey Club 25-0. Again, the worst loss for Princeton this year was a 20-3 loss against George Washington, I want to say. Either Georgetown or George Washington. It was one of the two. It was George Washington. 25 seconds to go here in this second period. We'll have to see if we'll have another quick intermission to get things going. Lee, who's on hat trick watch, nearly hit that one into the ceiling. It'll come back down to Moore. I think that one did go into the ceiling, but I don't blame the referees. First one to end this game as soon as possible. This has certainly been a contest of all time. Final seconds will tick off. 40 down, 20 to go. And we'll step aside for a couple moments as we bring in the action for period number 3 here in just a few minutes here on tonight's coverage of St. Joe's University Hawks Senior Night here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. 40 down and 20 to go as we welcome you back inside the glass of the Skatium here in Haverford, Pennsylvania for the start of the third period of play between the St. Joe's Hawks and the Princeton Tigers, live here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. My name is Trey Wright, and St. Joe's with a pretty big lead right now, 17-4 after 40 minutes of play as we go into period number 3. We'll take a look at some of the goal scoring statistics over the course of this first 40 minutes. Daniel Flagg, starting off with him. He only has 2 goals in this game, so the senior 1 goal away from a hat trick. Going over the points for everybody, Shane Wilson is in fact on the score sheet. He has an assist. Trevor Stimmel's got a goal. Danny Flagg has got 2 goals and an assist. Zane O'Rourke has got a goal. James Carpenter with 4 points on the night, 3 goals and an assist. Mikey Brazil, 3 assists and 2 goals for 5 points so far for him. Pat Doherty, 2 goals and 2 assists. Riley McCabe with an assist. Sal Triolo with a goal and an assist. Michael Valenta with a goal and an assist. Abram Hershey with a goal. Preston Wilson with a goal. Charlie Marateo with an assist. Jack Moore with a goal. And Owen Doyle with a pair of assists for him. It's pretty much all the goal scoring so far here. 17 goals scored. And then the 4 for Princeton. 2 goals on the night so far for James Lee, so he's on hat trick watch. The other 2 goals belonging to Nick Bunge, and the 6 of Blake Dahlman, and the assists in that second period belonging to Nikita Shevikov and the 19 of Alan Fang on that first goal. Devin Morey getting an assist on that second goal of that second period, the third goal as a whole, and that 4th goal for Princeton in the game. James Lee got the goal, and the assists on there belonging to Alan Fang and the 10 of Ben Vos. So as we get ready to bring you back into action for the final 20 minutes here, we'll take a look at the upcoming schedules for both of these teams. Princeton with only 1 game left on the year, so they'll take on the TCNJ Lions at home on February 15th as they are looking to sweep the Lions this year. They beat them 8-5 in their previous contest earlier on in the year. And then for St. Joe's, they're right back at it tomorrow for the tail end of their 3-3. They'll take on the Rider University Bronx at 6 p.m. That'll be right here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Then on February 6th and 7th, they'll be at Georgetown to take on the Hoyas on the 6th, and they'll be at George Mason to take on the Patriots on February 7th. What, of course, here is our final home game of the season for St. Joe's. We'd like to thank everybody for making this inaugural season possible here for St. Joe's hockey. And to say that it's been an incredible season would be an understatement. 21-3, well on their way to being 22-3, but the fat lady has not yet begun to sing, so we'll not call it 22-3 just yet, but hey, up by 13 goals. I'd say that the fat lady would be loving to be warming up her pipes right now to be singing once this clock hits 0 in 20 minutes. But again, you look at everything that St. Joe's has been able to accomplish, and this is a program, you go back over the last couple of years, they've been in the doldrums down in the ACC Elite, especially for a lot of these guys, all these seniors on here. What a way for them to go out in a season where they're the 19th ranked team in the Southeast Conference. There's a very real chance that this St. Joe's team could end up making regionals. Yeah, they're obviously the high favorites to win the ACC Elite. We'll see if they'll make regionals here. Again, this is a core that is led by their freshman skaters, of course, James Carpenter. What else can you really say about him? Mikey Brazil, even though he's not a freshman, he's been really, really effective so far this season as well. He's a sophomore, even more effective. And again, you look at Robert Rowe Marino, Mikey Brazil, Dylan Kuba. They've been excellent so far this young season, or throughout the season for the young men, I should say. I'd say this St. Joe's team is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with in the ACCHL for the next couple of years. There's a really good chance that this team could replace a couple of teams in the ACC Premier. You look at teams like Wake Forest and Rider, who right now Rider was just recently able to get their 3rd win of the season. There's been rumblings of them moving down. But again, that's all hearsay. That's all speculation. There could be a couple of teams moving down, but the St. Joe's team could be moving up a level as we're underway for the third period with St. Joe's up by 13. Of course, you look at the ACHA in total, there's a lot of discussion over whether teams are going to be moving up, teams are going to be moving down. Again, there's a whole lot of talent here in the American Collegiate Hockey Association. Quick shot goes over the crossbar, and that's on top of the net. I don't think Pat Doherty could do that again if he tried to. So now a net for St. Joe's is going to be Christopher Schofield, Darien, Connecticut senior. We'll get the final 20 minutes here. Cooper Tyson letting in 3 goals in that second period, and Bryce Sullivan letting only 1 goal in. But again, you look at the St. Joe's team, 21-3, 20 of those wins coming all in a row. Only 3 losses so far this season. Against a Rowan team, they're loaded for bear. They're one of the top teams in the Southeast right now. And against Westchester as well, they're one of the top teams as well. So their only losses this year for St. Joe's have been against some of the top teams in the in M2 right now. You look at Westchester, I think last time I checked, they're ranked 7th or 8th in the ACHA Northeastern poll. And then Rowan in the Southeast, they're ranked pretty high as well. Turnaround chance for Fang. He's not able to get anything past Schofield. And again, St. Joe's coming into tonight ranked 19th, or they were as high as 14th at one point, which for an elite team to be ranked inside where you would need to be to make regionals is just insane as their own, and a beautiful goal on a dangling chance there as Princeton will cut the deficit down to 12. Like I said, the fat lady has not begun to sing just yet. As a good goal there from the 2 of Evan Sia to make it a 17-5 game here with 17:30 to go here in period number 3. And we do have running clock here for this third period, so we'll be 20 uninterrupted minutes here at the Haverford Skatium. And we're going to get a penalty call against St. Joe's, or against Princeton, I should say. And no, I don't think we have running clock. I think that may have been a mistake. So 17-14, it will be a high stick going against the 27 of James Wong. So 17-14 to go here in period number 3. St. Joe's will go to their first power play of the night. We'll see what the Hawks are able to do, trying to put goal number 18 on the scoreboard. You know what, if they're able to get to 20 goals, that would be fitting, trying to get 20 goals to get up as high as their goal streak. Shot of the doorstep for Hershey, and that's gloved down by Zach Yee once again. And I guess we are going to have running clock. I guess there's running clock for when there's just random breaks in play, but for penalties, there's no running clock. I don't understand it, but again, I've never seen a running clock in the in any ACHA competition. So trying to clear it out once again here is Princeton. This will come back down to Schofield, trying to play it up to Maratea. Maratea down the far side. Down the far side once again. 16:07 to go in period number 3. 52 seconds to go in the penalty against Wong. Brazil has got it. Back to the blue line. We'll play it back over here. Up to Lulek. Lulek trying to put one up for Decky where Mama pops for Zinnies. It rides off of the railroad tracks. And here comes Vos on the other way. Vos in the other direction. Plays one up into the netting, and that will go out of play here. With 15:39 and counting to go here. There are a couple of seniors that have been kept off for the score sheet so far. Again, Shane Wilson has had an assist in this game. But his younger brother Preston able to get his first career goal in a St. Joe's uniform. As Wong is out of the box, and here's a breakaway chance for Doherty trying to steer it around. And a great stick there out of Zach Yee. Will keep his team only down by 12. So we're back to 5-on-5. A successful penalty kill for Princeton as Carpenter will skate around the net front. Hunter has got it. Puts a shot on and he scores. So Chris Hunter will join the goal-scoring parade, and the senior will once again net a goal here for St. Joe's, and it's 18-5 and bringing it back to a 13-goal lead are the Hawks. So just as we were saying, there were a couple of seniors who have yet to score in this contest. Chris Hunter will light the lamp for the first time tonight. Carpenter will keep it in over at the far wall. Trying to play it out there was Dahlman. Carpenter on it once again. We'll have to see what these guys are able to do against the Rider University Bronx tomorrow. Hunter with one goal already will try to backhand it. Carpenter with a blast. He's looking for a Baker's hat trick. Denied by Yee once again. Carpenter pickpocketed by Sia. And now Sia takes a whack to the stick there from McCabe. McCabe trying to get on his horse, trying to take it away there from the 15 of Boyer. Doherty on it. Doherty not able to keep it away from Boyer. This will skirt back out to the neutral zone. And the Hawks will keep it in their own end. For the time being, Fang not able to keep this away, as Valento will stick it into the half wall, taken back here by Princeton. Tara, I should say, had it, lost it. Getting it back here is Valenta. Valenta not able to keep it away from Sia. Here's a quick chance for Gross, and he scores. So Gross with a one-time tap in right in the low slot makes it 19-5. And Kyle Gross, another senior, able to find the scoreboard. And he was able to put on some ink here. Maury has got it, trying to play it back over. Schofield will deflect this up into the netting and out of play. .12:10 and counting to go in period number 3. Again, like we're talking about right at the top of the period, just a big thanks to everybody involved here at St. Joe's for being so welcoming to us here at Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Could not do it without Dean Keeney, the head coach of this program. Schofield with a blocker save, goes high into the rafters. St. Joe's skater went into the corner. Couldn't tell who that was in the far corner. I believe that was Valenta. Skating back out, and Gross is able to beat the icing. Gross trying to play it back over to Wilson, and here's Wilson on it once again. Not able to get it himself, and it'll turn it back over. Fang has now got it over at the far side, trying to play it away from Valenta. That's a pad save made by Schofield. We'll go into the opposite corner. Again, Dean Keeney, head coach. Maury plays it across, in and out of the glove of Schofield and on top of the net there. We'll get the pause. Again, like we're talking about, Dean Keeney, all that he has done here for Breakout Sports Broadcasting, for us here at BSB for our inaugural season with you guys. All the help for the players, all the help from the parents, just the welcoming arms here. So especially everybody here at the Havertown Skatium, allowing us to use a fantastic perch right here with a fantastic vantage point. And again, like we were saying, just what an inaugural season for us to have here for the St. Joe's team, and what a season it has been here for the St. Joe's program. I just wanted to take the time to thank everybody, no matter how big, how small, that has helped us here with the St. Joe's team. Putting on these broadcasts, able to have accurate stats, able to have fantastic videography with all the scratches that have been able to help us whenever we have a short crew on our end. It certainly takes a village to put on these productions, and hey, Shane Wilson has got it. Trying to play it back over to join his brother on the score sheet. But again, like we said, it takes a village to put on all these productions, and it has been a fantastic opening year or so. Here's to year 2 coming up in just about 8 or 9 months here for St. Joe's. But again, the Hawks season is not done yet. They've got a couple more games to go, and we'll see St. Joe's against Ryder tomorrow, so that'll be the last time we'll see the Hawks here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. That one, Kerrang's way up out of play, nearly going into the parking lot. Taking a look at some of the other scores around the our BSB affiliated teams, with the Battle of New Jersey coming on right now. With, I believe, TCNJ and Rutgers, they're probably in a couple of different... That game was about as scrappy as a junkyard yesterday between those two teams, the Battle of New Jersey, and currently it's a 2-1 lead for Rutgers. Right now, Chris Hunter trying to send it for the centering feed, back over across, and a pad save made by Yee. Tigers will come back the other way. Dahlman has got it, trying to put on the brakes. It's still loose, right on the legs, they score. So able to put the touchdown on the board are the Tigers. And it's going to be Kate Boyer who's going to get her first career goal as a Tiger for the sophomore. So Boyer able to find the loose change right in the low slot. We'll make it 19-6. I want to give a big shout out to Kate Boyer as well, as she was helping a lot of us here for BSB with some of the roster of the pronunciations. Again, the ACHA website is interesting. I think everybody can agree that the ACHA website is very interesting, and there's some roster discrepancies there for this Princeton program. So Kate, along with a couple other players on this Princeton team, were very helpful, helping us out here before the game started. A bouncing puck right in the low slot, and Yee is able to make the cover. So glad to see that her helping us with the broadcast is able to translate into getting a goal here. .6:43 to go in period number 3, 19-6 your score. Off of the draw taken here by Hunter, was trying to get it back over to McCabe. McCabe pinning it over at the half wall for a brief moment. Fang has got it, a 2-on-2. Fang looking to go a spinorama move that just goes a little bit wide of Schofield's office. Looking for a once again there was Bonget, who's looking for his second. Fang trying to spin away from McCabe once more. Comes back into the low slot, and a bouncing puck goes back out in the neutral zone. We're taking this one will be the captain of Devin Morey. Morey trying to play it down. This is backhanded back into the offensive end. McCabe trying to steal it away from Morey. He nearly did. Comes back over to Hershey. Hershey trying to spin away from the Princeton captain. He'll play it back over. Hershey was trying to get it back over to Preston Wilson. Wilson trying to keep it away there. Taken back once again by Fang. Fang has got it. Quick shot goes over the crossbar, and a high riser goes in the opposite corner. 5:19 to go in period number 3. Maratea's without a stick, and he's just going to try and hacky sack it into the corner. Taken back here by Cacriola. Cacarala was trying to keep it away, was trying to get it back over to Ben Vos. 5 minutes to go here in period number 3. St. Joe's in a very comfortable position right now with under 5 to go in this third frame. Another bouncing puck, and hey, we're going to get an icing call. Haven't had any of those in this game, I feel like. As Evan Sia and Riley McCabe exchanging some friendly pleasantries. They skate back into the play. .412 to go in period number 3. McCabe trying to keep it away from Sia. As we play back out there by Atara. Atara able to get it down, and now it's a 2-1-0. Here's Danny Flagg. Nearly taken away. They score. Oh, Yee thought he had it covered, and Flagg was able to take it away, and now officially Daniel Flagg has got a hat trick here on senior night. So we thought that Flagg had a goal earlier, or a third goal earlier. It is now 20-6 in favor of St. Joe's. Lulek gets crunched into the half wall, and screwing back the other way is Lamb. Here's Lamb trying to get on his horse, taken back there by Lulek. As James Lee had it and lost it. Remember, Lee is on hat trick watch, one of the 5 different goal scorers here tonight. Here's Stimmel with 1 goal already, trying to drive around the defense, and it just goes wide of the cage. Playing it back over is Wilson. He'll turn it over. Lee has got it. Trying to go for the hat trick is Lee with 2:43 to go. Lee nearly taken away by Flagg, and I'll get it back over to Lamb. Lamb pickpocketed once again. Here comes Shane Wilson on it. Wilson, the captain, trying to get a goal here on senior night. It comes over to Stimmel. This pops in and out of the zone, and we're going to get an offside as Gross thought he was able to just keep it in. And time continuing to wind down in this one. Puck is dumped in. Brazil has got it. Again, we started to mention a little bit earlier where you go back to that game against the University of Delaware, a 5-4 win over UDel, where Mikey Brazil went viral. As the net was dislodged for a brief moment, he reset it himself and got a tap-in goal about maybe 4 seconds later. In part of that 5-4 overtime victory, part of that long-standing road trip for St. Joe's. So they were able to win all but 1 game in that contest. Here's another 2-on-1. Quick shot, quick goal. James Carpenter has got a Baker's Hattie. And he puts 21 on the board here. So St. Joe's in their black uniforms will hit blackjack. It's 21-6 with 1 minute to go in the third period. Quick draw, Doherty, breakaway chance, trying to make it 22. Just sends it over. Doherty on it once again, now it's a 2-on-1. Doherty across, Wilson picks up the loose change and he scores. So instead of it being blackjack for the black-clad St. Joe's Hawks, It's now Taylor Swift-esque 22. So our technical director, Emily Cott, big Taylor Swift fan. I know she's happy about that. Ten seconds to go in the third period. Can we get 23 will be the million-dollar question. I don't think we are, and I believe St. Joe's going to be content here for the final seconds ticking down, and that will do it. Put it in the books as a W, as the St. Joe's Hawks will take down the Princeton Tigers 22-6, your final score here on senior night. But on behalf of everybody at Breakout Sports Broadcasting, for our technical director tonight, Emily Cott, all of our scratches that helped us out with our videography tonight, my name is Trey Wright, saying so long from Skatium. We appreciate everybody for coming out here for this entire inaugural season of St. Joe's hockey. We'll see St. Joe's here on the BSB airwaves tomorrow night when they take on the Rider Bronx at 6 o'clock. But until then, for everybody at the Skatium, for everybody at St. Joe's, my name is Trey Wright, saying so long from the Havertown Skatium. This will close the opening chapter of St. Joe's hockey here tonight. Your final score, Princeton 6, St. Joe's 22. Have a warm rest of your evening, folks, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a good night.